This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. From the gun, Costello. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Back to throw. Costello. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Going on the ground with Eckler. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They're not ready for this. They still playing
2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
9:54. Come off the ball.
Let go.
On 2nd and 7. Lock. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Locke working out of the gun. Airing it out for Hamilton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
All day, defense, all day.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Once again, they run with Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. Distance was never an issue, not in this mile-high air, but it doesn't matter what elevation you're at if you don't put it on target. And this one kind of takes off on him.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You draw quarters.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ready?
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Let's go. 10-2, son.
It's time to win. It's time to run. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check 99, check 99.
Hey, rock it. Now.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
They'll go for it. It's Locke. He's got this complete to Hamilton. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bengals will get the football back.
Ready, set.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Hey, high 7.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello, and it's complete. Henry, and he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Let's go.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
6-6, bullet time.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Eckler. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for Cincinnati. Give him 52 yards on the ground. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Look at me, zipper.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Here we go, here we go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
You.
Ready.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Locke trying again after the pick six. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Got it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They look to throw. It's Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
From the gun on 3rd down. Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position.
Let's go. 30 base.
51. You can't block me. You can't block me.
5.
Mixon with a first down carry. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bengals on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run with Mixon. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This from 36 yards out. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Locke. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Again, it's Mixon. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Fielded about a yard deep. a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lock, man open, that's Juwan Winfrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Down. 10 over.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line. Wild Bill.
One final try for Lock. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout